Tashidele, how are you?
How are you?
Thank you, thank you. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, as usual, we start with setting correct motivation of altruism on the basis of refreshing refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Then after that, pay salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha and the lineage gurus, like that. Ngô san je chue dang zo je jo na la jang ju ba do da ni ja zo je da je je zo je be so nam je do la ben je san je do wa ra yo san je chue dang zo je jo na la jang ju ba do da ni ja zo je da je je zo je be so nam je do la ben je san je do wa ra yo Sanje Chedan Zoji Juna La Janju Bandu Dani Jazunji Daji Jinsu Jebe Sonamji Dola Penjire Sanje Drubarai Jo Semje Damje Dewa Dang Devi Judan Dembra Juji Semje Damje Dunga Dang Dunga Judan Dawa Juji Semje Damje Dunga Mebe Dewa Dang Midawa Juji Semje damje nyere jana nidang dave danyola nebra juro je semje damje dewa dang dewe judang dembra juje semje damje dunga dang dunga je judang dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang me dawa juje semje damje nyere jana nidang dave danyola nebra juro je semje damje dewa dang dewe judang dembra juje semje damje dunga dang dunga je judang dawa juje semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang me dawa juje semje damje nyere jana nidang dave danyola nebra juro je Gange doje ne zone dawa damje bambe chere dambe chune denje ba godam de la cha che lo Dongni Ninje Zondo Jobe Lam Zeje Zejo Ganje Dende Chana Bemo Denzen Jazo La Sowa Debzo Da Ju Chinje Lo Thank you. Oh yeah. So yes, so we very much continue from the explanation on Bodhisattva's vows, the 18 root vows. So, as introduced, the 4 factors, to break the complete vows before. When the 4 factors are complete in any of the in any of these 18 root vows, and then you lost the entire vows, entire precept. So if it happened that, then the only way to regain the vow is by retaking it. But otherwise, if the transgressions are very much incomplete of the 4 factors, just completing 3 factors or 2 factors, just 1 factors, then mainly, very much conducting purification practice, then so it won't lost the vow from the root, and it will not impact the rest of the other vows. which is specifically intended vows, even though it is transgression to one particular vow from the 18. So for that, by doing purification practice, such as Vajrasattva, Vitupa practice, Vajrataka fire puja practice, 35 Buddhas practice, then including of engaging in other practices such as refuge, recitation of refuge in Bodhicitta, the 4-line prayers. So by that, then one able to purify the general negativities of transgrading the vows. Then on the basis of that, then to regain the purity of the vow again, then you refresh it. You retake it. So that way you can again, that particular vow will be restored like that. Yeah. So otherwise, if all the four factors are present, then the entirety of the vows has to be retaken. Then the vow, the 9 and the 18th, then without even encountering any of the factor, simply releasing from your heart, simply letting go from your heart, then you lost. So then you lost entire 18 root vows. So if it happened that, then of course the purification has to be done even more intense. Then you have to restore by retaking it like that. Yeah. Then of course, whatever purification practice you do, the most meaningful way to do the practice is by engaging the 4 opinion power like that. Okay, so last session we went up to the 3rd vow. So now we go through the 4th. So doubting and denying the Mahayana. So abandoning the Mahayana teaching by saying that some part of the teaching are not teachings of the Buddha, pronouncing your own fabricated or perverted doctrine. So here, is very much an example. Many of you here follow the Tibetan Mahayanic Buddhist tradition. Then within that, you may be very much following the Gelug tradition, or any other tradition. So if you happen to follow Tibetan Mahayanic tradition, then you doubt and deny such as the Chinese Mahayanic tradition, the teaching of the Chinese Mahayanic tradition. So that way, this will impact the vow. This will transgress the vow. Then within the as a Tibetan Mahayanic Gelug tradition, then you deny or doubt the teachings of Nyingma Kagyu Sajja. Then that way also it will impact the vows. Then within the Mahayanic teaching, there's the teachings of the causal vehicle and the resultant vehicle. the sutra and tantra. So if you are practicing sutra, then if you deny or doubt the tantric teaching, so that will have impact the vow. So again, if you are practicing tantra, then if you deny and doubt the sutric, Mahayana sutric teaching, that will also impact the vow. Simply, having the idea or having the belief or expressing it from your heart that, the tantric teachings are not valid teachings of Buddha. The tantric teachings are just simply maybe made up by, some Tibetan early people or the monks and like that. Or the tantric teaching is very much is a Hindu teaching. Is non-Buddhist practice. And because of, you may happen to witness some of the similarity in the rituals like fire puja, etc. Very much outwardly, you can see a lot of similarity. The tantric practice in Hindu and tantric practice in the Mahayana Buddhist teaching. So because of the because of because of lacking of knowledge, because of ignorance and happen to believe like that, happen to express like that, then that will impact the vow. And many do that. Many many have this problem. The tantric teaching is very much is like taken from the earlier religious tradition in India. So even for Buddha, he have practiced, but he took this practice, he copied this practice from the earlier Hindu tradition like that. So actually it's not. So in order to find the differentiation, one need to understand the Lamrim, one need to understand the three principal aspects of the path. Then also the objective of the practice, the ultimate goal of the practice, and then the main part of the practice, then main motivation of the practice. We have to know. So not everybody knows that. So for the Mahayanic, the Buddhist tantric practice, you need to have the renunciation towards the entire samsara, entire delusion, entire defilement. So as far as concerned with the other tantric rituals or tantric teaching of the earlier tradition, such as like Hindu, the motivation is, I would say, there's no such renunciation. The mainly renounce the limitation of delusion, then actualizing, higher mantric, or the tantric powers, very much of able to bring control over elements, and etc. like that. So still, the objective is to achieve the higher, blissful status within the samsaric existence. As far as concerned with the path, Buddhist Tantra, the path is the true altruism, the bodhicitta and emptiness. That is the basis, which is lacking in other tantric practice. And that true altruism, interpreted within the two stages of the tantric path, the generation stage and completion stage, which is again the main basis of those paths are very much arose from the true altruism. Then the ultimate goal is for full enlightenment. The goal beyond the cyclic existent, Buddha's form body and Buddha's wisdom body, the state of complete eradication of the entire defilements, you see. So therefore, even though you see so many similarities outwardly, in fact, completely different in definite practice. So like that. Then those who practice the Tantra, then again through ignorance, lacking of knowledge, expressing from your heart that there's no need of sutric practice. There's no need. Tantric practice is the ultimate practice. Sweetest practice and sutric practice is a very lengthy process. So as long as you have the superior practice, so you don't need the earlier, the sutric practices, such as Vinaya practices, such as the Mahayanic sutric, in particularly Mahayanic, sutric path, very much, very much the journey of the Bodhisattva, according with the causal part of the paramita. So if you happen to think like that, then that will impact the vow. So that has happened even in Tibet, even after great masters have revealed the tantric teaching in Tibet, like Guru Pema Sambhava. Then there's extensive flourishing of the tantric teaching, but then later when there is emphasis of the sutric practices, then there are even long time practitioners due to lacking of study. They cannot balance between these two teaching. When they practice Tantra, they feel they are not qualified, or they're there's a contradictory to practice. There's two practice together, sutric practice and the tantric practice. And those who practice sutric practice felt that there's no room for tantric practice. It's very much against each other from the precept that you take. So this has happened in the past, and even today's time, people who lack of proper understanding, even though you may have taken Bodhisattva vows and following the Bodhisattva's steps, then there's a lot of fame about tantric practice in this world, and you may have a trouble of accommodating the tantric practice in your life. So if that happened, then it will impact the vow like that. So the cure for that, or the antidote for us not to get transgression, in particular in relation to this vow, first, most important is to study the all aspect of Buddha's teaching. Sutra, also called the Vinaya Sutra, then the Paramita, the Sutra, then the Tantric, also 4 classes of Tantra. So it's good to study all that. So the two texts that which is two texts from the 18, treatise of Lama Tsongkhapa that regarded as a heart of the knowledge and heart of the compositions of Lama Tsongkhapa, which is, as a Gelug follower, is like must study. If you study these two texts, one is the sutric aspect of the teaching is the Lamrim Chemo, the great, the stages path to enlightenment, Lamrim Chemo. Then as for the tantric path, then the Ngagring Chemo, the great stages of the tantric path. So there's Lamrim Chemo and Ngagring Chemo. It's two big volumes in Tibetan. So I think in English, the Lamrim Chemo comes in three different volumes of translation. So it can be many kind of compiling. So whatever it is, these two texts is like must study. So like that. So then that way, then there's no room for us to have any kind of difficulty in accommodating of all the teachings of the Yana, all the teachings, all the different aspects of the tantric and the sutric teachings in your practice. And that's one thing. So another aspect is another practice in our day-to-day life to secure these precepts is to practice respect and pure view. Never looking at limitation in anything, and always offer respect in the sense that there's also element that you can practice even though you may not understand them well, but as long as you wish to practice, then always there's a room or there's an element that you can take as a supplement to your whatever practice that you're already practicing. If you are sutric practice, then whenever you encounter any tantric practice, then instead of rejecting, you try to find element in it that which could supplement to your current existing sutric practice. So if you are tantric practice, then similar way you have the same view towards the sutric practice. So as a Buddhist practitioner, then entire teachings of the Yana, entire 84,000 teaching has to be practiced. Entire 84,000 teachings and three wheel training of the Buddha Dharma, including of the four schools of philosophy and the teachings of the three scopes. Each and every one of them is the gradual path to one individual's journey towards enlightenment. You see, so we have to have that understanding. Entire of 84,000 teaching is, for me, is my gradual path to enlightenment. It's a method for one individual like myself to achieve enlightenment. It's like a method. So that way, then you will have the basis. Certain teaching you arrange as your preliminary practice. Certain teaching you arrange as your main body practice. Certain teaching you arrange as resultant Dharma practice, like that. So that way, then there's no room for us to have any impact to this particular precept, but at the same time that you gain so much of blessings from entire teachings of the Buddha. At the same time, you will avoid committing the karma of abandoning Dharma. Because if we deny or if we reject, any part of Buddha's teaching, then that will create a karma of abandoning Dharma, which is very heavy karma. It's a great obstacle for our spiritual growth. And the main thing is, you have the opportunity, but you reject it, and that will become obstacle for one's own spiritual development. So like that. So then, also when we relate to different deities, for some deities, you feel spontaneous connection to them. Some deities, you just simply, don't understand them. Feel very difficult to connect, and sometimes you may even feel you're scared of looking at them, etc. So all the deities and all the Buddhas, and including of all the gurus, are illustration of the Dharma, manifestations of emptiness. The Dharma is emptiness, isn't it? The Dharma, ultimate Dharma is emptiness. Ultimate Dharma is the Dharmakaya, isn't it? So all the Buddhas, all different deities are, manifestations in the form of deity, from emptiness, from Dharmakaya, for our benefit. So if you, have a wrong thinking, if you reject one deity, you are rejecting the Dharma. You see, you're rejecting the Dharma. You abandon the Dharma. It could happen like that. So, so even though that particular deity may not be your meditation deity, but as long as it is the, enlightened manifestation, we as a Buddhist, we show respect. In particular, as a Mahayana practitioner, we still see it is emanation of the main deity that you practice. It's emanation of that deity. So this is extremely, extremely important. Just simply being as a Buddhist, this is a very foundational practice, especially who practice Tantra, who practice Mahayana, then this is even more crucial, so you see, so like that. So then also to, so like that, you see. So just simple understanding, all the deities are very much, the manifestation of your own meditation deity for different activities, the major 4 different activities of the Buddha, some for increasing merit, some for, purifying negativities, some for, actualizing the activities of controlling, wrathful, etc. So all, we call Shi, Ge, Wang, Dak, all this, 4 different kind of manifestations that you can witness in their facial expressions, in their ritual practices. So you can see some are very peaceful, some are very wrathful, etc., etc. So in order for us to purify entirety of faults and actualize the perfections of Buddha's activities, then we need to gain the perfection in the 4 activities of the deity. So that is also one of the reasons why we practice Tantra, 4 activities, So the pacifying, increasing, controlling, and wrathful activities, we need that, you see. So therefore, in that way, then all the different manifestations of the deities and Buddhas, you have a reason to relate that, in that understanding, you see. Then gurus. So again, guru is the manifestation of Dharma, is the embodiment of your meditation deity, arise from the Dharmakaya. So therefore, it is Dharma, you see. So like Buddha, like being as Buddha Dharma Sangha, Guru also is Buddha Dharma Sangha, you see. So like all 3 in 1 or 4 in 1, like that. So therefore, so certain Guru, you may have so much respect for certain Guru. You may, when you happen to witness some limitations, then we start to kind of lose faith, and we may even danger of abandoning them. So if that happens, also create a karma. In particularly, the gurus from whom we receive Bodhisattva vows, we receive tantric vows, initiations, receive oral transmission or commentary in initiation. We receive from more than one gurus, many of us, isn't it? So, so then we have some kind of biased feeling in our faith, in our respect. So that way also again put danger to these precepts, So therefore, the best protection is always practice pure view, and fill your heart with full of respect. So something like that. So these are just few examples. Then, 5th one, taking offering intended for the triple gem. So taking back offering to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, or taking them by robbery or devious scheme, using for your own purpose material dedicated to the Sangha. So, so very much, the things that which is dedicated to Sangha communities like monasteries and monasteries, nunneries, and also including Dharma centers. So, it could be money, it could be object, just can be holy objects, ritual objects, could be other possessions like land, food, drinks, etc. So as long as it's dedicated for either for the ultimate Buddha Dharma Sangha or the conventional Buddha Dharma Sangha, then if the practitioner, individual practitioner, take them for your own personal use, with personal use, without permission, personal use or without permission, or take them by robbery or devious scam, So then that way it will endanger, these particular precepts. So, so therefore, so anything, including of even one stem of flower in the monastic garden or in the Sandal's garden, if we needed to pluck, it's so meaningful for us to, first ask permission. There may be abbot, managers, disciplinars, or officers, whoever they may be, is, to really make clear, or not to impact a vow like that. So, and also when you visit monastery nunneries, is a monasteries, the Sangha community, the monasteries is a mandala for holy objects, the conventional Buddha Dharma Sangha, like statues, scriptures, and the monks and nuns, isn't it? Then such places are usually, even you build a monastery, it has to go through so many, level of practices. So there's a Vinaya way of building monasteries. It's not like a normal construction of ordinary house like that. And then is very much consecrated, the whole place. All the holy objects definitely consecrated. But even the land, will be consecrated. So it's very much it recite the celestial beings. So it is very much celestial mention of the Buddhas. Then of course, obviously, it's used by the Sangha community there. So one individual who someone like practitioner of Buddhism, when we first enter into that community, even just stepping into that mandala, you see, we understand. So this is a celestial of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and everything you utilize with so much respect. It's very much you utilize them as a blessings, as to bring impact to your spiritual development. Like during initiation, when you permit to enter into the mandala, you are permitted to explore, enjoy all the practices and all these celestial facilities, isn't it? Similar way, when you enter into this temple like that, then all your senses are utilizing in relation to different objects like this, like seen by your eyes. Then physically you feel the land, the temple. Then sound, you hear all the sounds of the chantings, prayers, etc. Then so everything you regard as a blessings of the Buddha, blessing of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and utilizing them with so much respect, so much pure views and respect. Then whenever you see the Sanghas, you see them as an emanation of the Buddhas. Whenever you see the holy object, you see them, the actual reciting of the Buddhas. When you see the text, you see them actual, Dharmakaya illustrated in the text, like that. Then whenever, so you see, so you utilize with this, conventionally. In reality, you take permission to utilize them. Then ultimately, in your heart, you utilize them with that kind of understanding. So that way, then there's no room for us to misusing of any of the property, any of the belongings of Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You will not create a karma of misusing them. You see, so so that way, there's an immense benefit to yourself when you are within that monastery environment. Your body, speech, and mind is very much in a full observations of spiritual practice, full observations of training your mind, training your senses. So it will become like that. So it's not making your life so difficult. When you go to a temple, when you go to monastery. Sometimes we may think, I just want to be free. I came to monastery. I just, I want to be wild. Because this is like so. So there's so much kind of restriction. Why you need to do that.
whatever I said, it sounds like quite a stressful, isn't it? But in actual fact, it's just simply retreating you in your spiritual practice, making you utilize entire existence, your both body and mind and all the senses, to fully emerge into the spiritual practice. So if you happen to go to temples, monasteries, including Dharma center, like that kind of idea, then even there's no teachings, or even there's no no other activities, but just being there, you are completely well taught, well blessed, well trained. So I'm sure very much all these vows are very much intended to help us to develop our practice. So I think these are the different way of interpretations to understand how to help ourselves in relation to these precepts in real time, if we happen to be in that kind of position like that. Then if you so that in particularly in the monasteries, there's a lot of sangha assembly gatherings and doing pujas, and during the pujas there's offering of tea, breads, usually offered to everybody. So you will witness the discipline before everyone drink and eat. The discipliner will make some kind of recitations, which is very much giving permission to everybody to consume the common the possessions of the possessions of the sangha there. So from outside, if you happen to visit there, then you drink the tea when everyone drinks, not like right after pour the tea and you drink. You rather wait until the discipliner make the prayers. And sometimes even some of the sangha there may not understand the moment. The moment was it before the discipliner permit, already enjoying the breads and drinks also happens. And from outside visitor, may do like that. So it's good to wait, until normally good to watch the main lama up there sitting on the throne, or the senior, the first role, some senior monks, or the chant masters, if we don't understand the actual word from the discipliner. But otherwise, the discipliner, usually they will hold a hat, the monastic ritual hat, and they will say something. And that's the time they are reciting the word of giving permission to everybody to, have the tea and bread and food and etc. like that. So until he take a paper and read, that is the general dedication. So until he read the paper, until then, good to hold on. So to drink the tea like that. So these are some people, many of us go to visit monasteries, and if we know that, if we good, because usually you won't educate that for general public, isn't it? Then that time, usually most of the pujas happen in the morning, the first meal, first drink. Then that time already kind of permit rest of the meals and rest of the drinks, rest of using of the utilities throughout the 24 hours. So then from there you understood now lunch, dinner, everything that I was blessed and I was permitted to enjoy, so something like that. So yes, then then of course, for us, I think there's no room to break this particular vow by robbery, robbery of, we won't do that, isn't it? Someone already become Mahayanic practitioner, this is impossible, so then vicious scam, through a scam, I think if you're a true practitioner, won't do that. So there's no danger of that. So then, but there's a one danger that may be possible, because we like to collect souvenirs from, from the travels. Especially, I think some people like to collect antique, and some ritual objects from the shops. Or sometimes even from the monastery, you may receive some kind of gift from your maybe spiritual friend, maybe monks and nuns or lay practitioners. If you happen to visit visit Nepal, India, or maybe other religious countries, Thailand, etc. We have to be careful in that. Especially, when we buy things from the shop, we have to be very clear that these holy objects are not not actualized by, stealing, robbery, stealing from temples. There are many antique holy objects are obtained from black market, obtained from stealing from temples. There are many like that. Then and also the holy object that actualize with the wrong livelihood, wrong livelihood. So people who make these holy objects using the money that by butchering animals, by selling weapons, by selling prostitutions. So then of course through stealing from temples. So then these holy objects are obtained through wrong livelihood, or wrong livelihood. So so then you if you obtain them, then you see, so you are contributor to the act. You are a contributor to the act of those non-virtuous act. So that way, again, that may impact the vow. That even to not to do with the vow, generally, if we are not careful, that will create karma, negative karma. You see, even in the general understanding, those are not right, isn't it? It's wrong. You see, so it is harmful, even in a common sense. So therefore, then especially in very very subtle karmic way, instead of benefiting yourself, it may harm. I remember that there's one lady in Singapore, one practitioner, experiencing cancer, quite a strange, rare cancer. So just happened to visit her house. Then when I was climbing the staircase, then right, facing to the staircase, there's one island table, and there's one reclining Buddha statue. Look. I think it's a look bit antique look. I don't know the material. It's metal or wood. I have no idea. So I immediately felt that it is something not right, So, and immediately it's spontaneous that felt that there's something to do with this object to the lady's sickness. I felt that. So I didn't say immediately, but I tried to analyze. I tried to puzzle it, put all the puzzle together and do some calculations. And then I strongly, convinced myself that there is some impact from this object. This object is very much, object of steal robbery from a temple, and that carry, is very negative karmic influence, to the act. And then that somehow, harm, whoever be part of that journey in relation to this particular object. There's nothing, of course, it's a Buddha's holy object. From, the representation is a Buddha. So therefore there's nothing wrong, only should be benefited. But because of the karma that involved in obtaining of this object, that is so powerful that until that whoever be part of it somehow get harmed, you see. So it's not the statue the Buddha is harming, it's the karma is harming, you see. So then after that, I think maybe a few days or later, I happened to talk to the person. I said, where did you obtain this object? I said, to return back. Then they say they bought with so much money. So it is an antique piece, and they bought from Thailand. So they say it's an antique piece and very, so I said, it doesn't matter of the money, the matter is your health. So you have to return it, and or otherwise you donate to some temple if you feel very hard to return back to the shop, then at least donate to the temple, or you find maybe the sources, maybe there may be some way that you may find where this statue originally came from, and that way I think you can create an immense of virtue. Doing this good act, and it will be so beneficial for you and for everybody who up to now committing so much karma in relation to that. So then, so they really put effort to figure it out, and I think if I remember, it was a long time ago. If I remember correctly, they were able to figure it out where this statue came from. And they're able to return back to the temple. It was a stolen statue, So then later, so this practitioner, even though got a very complicated health issue, and so far she's doing completely fine up to now, and she feels much more kind of like she was kind of released from some kind of bondage like that, So I'm just giving an example, like this. So, so that's why, we have to be very careful, you see. So one of the reasons why we do consecration whenever we obtain holy object, consecration of holy object is because of that. Also why we do consecration of, if we buy a new property like house, or even you buy a sofa, or even you buy Vajra bell, mandala sets, or even a book, in fact, it's so beneficial to do consecration practice, and that you can do by yourself, simply by reciting this interdependent arising mantra. Also called as emptiness mantra. Om ye dharma hetu trabha soha. It's very short. You can find an FMD prayer book called the interdependent arising mantra or emptiness mantra. You recite 3 times. You know, it is so powerful mantra. It has the, it was the essence of Buddha's teaching, the Tantra in this mantra. So it will purify the impurities, at least if you have not committed, definite karma in relation to all those actions, but you just, your heart is so pure just to obtain this object, and you just want to bring benefit out of it. So then you purify if there's any impurities, So if you want to do more elaborate, so recite refuge, set a correct motivation of altruism, and refuge, bodhicitta, a prayer, then for immeasurable thoughts. Then after that, so then very much you can recite the interdependent rising mantra 3 times. So then if you can gather some loose flowers or uncooked rice. So when you recite the mantra, you can just sprinkle that onto the object. Then even you move into new house, you can do that. If you buy new things, you can do that. Then those sprinkled flour or the rice, you leave there without cleaning for 24 hours. Then after that, you can clean it, also like that. And if you want, then after that, then you can do dedication prayer, bodhicitta, emptiness dedication prayers, or you can just do that in your heart, meditation like that. If you want to do slightly more elaborate, then refuge, bodhicitta, then after that, purifying the places which during Buddha's time, whenever Buddha traveled, villages, so the devotees, they recite this practice to pacify all the dust, all the impurities, to able to host the Buddha in the most pure place. There's one 4-line prayer. Again, you can get in the FMB prayer book. So that's 4-line prayers like that. Then after that, then you do invocations of the merit field, Buddhas and deities and the gurus, Bodhisattvas from the 10 direction, in order for you to, in order for them to witness your practice, or in order for them to assist in blessing your practice to be effective. So there's again the prayers, invocation 4-line prayers in the prayer book. So very, very, very easy. Then after that, then accumulation of merit. Then you make, the Samanabhadras clouds of offering mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Besarabhamana Tadakada Harasum, Tadabizun Madhus Madam, Mabdizum Mamritam, Saw Amritina Beze, saw Punjosun. Again, you can just, find that in the prayer book. Then after that, then you, So let's say if you are doing the ritual properly, if you are holding Vajra bell, then when you do the Samanabhadras offering, then you can use your Vajra bell ring, like that. And then after that, then then the interdependent rising mantra Om Yetamayatu 3 times. Then you sprinkle the. Sorry. If you want to do more elaborate, then after that you do short bed offering practice. Even though you do bed offering to all the merit field, even though the merit field, their body, speech, and mind, nothing to be purified, but for the benefit of purification of yourself, purification of the place, purification of the object that you want to bless, then you do the bed offering. So you can get ready. If you have vase, then you have the ritual vase. Otherwise, in a small glass, you get a pure water. If you have a saffron, then you make the saffron water. then you get, fruit plant branch or the leaf, as long as a non-poisonous plant branch or the small branch. You can witness that, during His Holiness recent initiations, on the vase there's a plant in the stick on, isn't it? Similar like that. So you can use that. And then there are the Bharat offering practice. Some are very long one, short one. You can do just one, one verse. Or you can just recite this mantra. Om Sawa Tathagata Abhikeka de Samaya Shiriye Ahung. Om Sawa Tathagata Abhikeka de Samaya Shiriye Ahung. You can recite, a few times of this mantra alone. Then that time you sprinkle the water around, or water to the object. You can also do that. Otherwise, you can just recite a few verses, blessing the body, speech, and mind, bed offering of blessing body, speech, and mind. You can find in the prayer book. And then after that, then you do the interdependent rising mantra. Then after that, then the Sanskrit vowel and consonant, you can also add that. Then that time also, you can sprinkle the rice or the flower petals. And then after that, then you do the dedication like that. Okay, so this is, anybody can do. You can invite lamas and sanghas and practitioners to do this. If best, if you can't find them, you can do by yourself. So this is one of the way to purify anything that you obtain from wrong livelihood. Sometimes even like the house you buy, maybe they may have some wrongdoings possible, or maybe there may be some inauspiciousness. You can do that. And also certain land, certain places, there are a lot of violence happens. So the place becomes very negative from there. And some places, you build a house by destroying the landlord, destroying the Nagas. Then when someone moved there, you get a lot of disturbances. So again, you to purify that, this simple practice can be so beneficial like that. So that way, you can also protect yourself and your family members from the impact of those negative karma that committed by others, because of you are part of utilizing those places. Anyway, this is my distraction out of the topic, but maybe there's some relation. So anyway, yes. So maybe here, instead of Bodhisattva vow, we're all going to be a puja lama, to become a puja lama. We are ready to go for pujas. No need to call any other. We are ready. Okay. Yes. So like that. Okay. Then yes. So maybe I better stop here. Then the number 6, because today I plan to finish all the 18 vows, so that last session can talk about 46 vows. So I better don't distract too much. Okay, number 6, abandoning the Dharma through secularism. So I think I very much mentioned this before. So anyway, the more elaborated in the text is abandoning or despising the holy Dharma by criticizing the scripture or practice of any of the 3 vehicles of the Sarvaka and Patyaka Buddhas or the Bodhisattvas. If you have inclination of Tantra, criticizing the Paramitayana, if you are inclined towards the Mahayana, criticizing the Hinayana, and vice versa. You should not criticize the difference in various teachings, because Buddha taught with the skillful means in various ways to guide disciple with the different dispositions. This criticism heavier than destroying all the stupas on earth. So yeah, I think very much mentioned before. Yeah, okay. So then number 7 is harming an ordained person, inflicting violence on them, stealing, disrobing monks or nuns. So harming ordained person, inflicting violence on them, stealing their robes or causing them to lose their vows. So yeah, so very much, through our body, speech, and mind, being disrespect to the monks and nuns, physically, there's no, basic Buddhist respectful gesture, like bit of bowing and, making a prostration gesture. There's no kind of value of the vow that that Sangha carries, including of the representation of the vow, that which are the robes. Especially for a lay person who don't have the Sangha vow, just kind of treating, equal, equal in the sense, not seeing any respectful value in the Sanghas, the sign of the Sangha, the robes, and the and their way of life. You see, so it doesn't mean in the world we talk about equality. It's nothing to do with that. The equality is equal to everybody. But when it comes to the vows, there's an immense benefit for the person who offer respect. So it's for our own benefit. Then we show so much respect. So even among the Sangha, the preordained Sangha, the Vinaya practice to show so much respect to the novice Sangha, then fully ordained Sangha. So like that, novice to the fully ordained Sangha, like that. The fully ordained Sangha's vow is an equal vow that Buddha holds. All the gurus, all the Buddhas, the ordination vows that they hold is equal that what the one ordinary, ordinary human, fully ordained monk or nun holds those vows. You see, so there's no higher individual liberation vows than that. So from that point of understanding, also showing so much respect. In the monastic Vinaya vow, novice and the novice and Kharsa, preordained and the novice monks and nuns, regard as attendant to the fully ordained monks and nuns. And in the monastery, we practice like that. If someone is fully ordained, even though my age may be much more older than that fully ordained monk or nun, or even I may be in the monastery longer time than than that particular fully ordained monk or nun, but myself, still haven't taken the fully ordained vow, then I still regard as an attendant, as an attendant to the fully ordained Sangha. So these are the how we practice in the monastery Vinaya, the Vinaya way. You see. Then of course, when someone is holding higher vows, carry greater responsibility with everything, with their knowledge, with their discipline, with their practice, is very much, you have to become a role model to the novice sanghas and preordained sanghas. So then your main job is, if you are still studying, then you really have to study, you illustrate, you study, even more diligent, harder than the rest of the others. You really have to put extra effort. If you're already graduated, then you really have to, put effort in guiding the novice and the preordained sanghas by teaching. Then, as far as discipline-wise, you have to, be extra disciplined. So really, because of your action as a fully ordained sangha, because of your flows, if novice and preordained sanghas get discouragement to receive their higher vows and to live in the monastery, to practice monastery vows, is a heavy consequences, heavy consequences. You see? So like that. So therefore, those genuine, true, fully ordained sangha, when they take the responsibility, they truly deserve, all the respect, all the attendance by the junior, sanghas, you see. So that much like that. Then of course, fully ordained sangha has to be definitely role model of renounced practitioner, Vinaya practitioner, Dharma practitioner. Truly has to illustrate the example of a sangha to the rest of the practitioners, especially to the lay practitioners. Through your observation, the disciplined, you're disciplined. Your physical behavior, your speech, and your heart, especially when to do with Vinaya precepts. Heart is important, but in this ordinary world, the speech and physical action is even more important. You see, when it comes to Bodhisattva and Tantra, the heart is more important than the physical, physical, especially to do with Tantra. But for Vinaya, mainly there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of discipline that has to be illustrated through your body, through your speech. The heart, of course, has to be carry renounced heart, isn't it? So there are, like 253 fully ordained vows. Most of the vows are very much to protect committing, karma in relation to not to lose, faith by the lay practitioners or the junior sanghas and the lay practitioners. Lay practitioners. You see? There are, all the different vows are, very much the discipline, actualized during Buddha's time when some individual monks that time, become naughty, in different area. Then Buddha says, okay, you did this, now you have to discipline like this, you have to discipline like that, So it's a very practical thing, you see. So especially, I think even now, I think more than ever, the sanghas has to be more disciplined, especially the behavior, really have to be. It's a huge job. So not easy to be sangha, huge job. It's a huge job. It's unbelievable job. So if you carry that job properly, then you are truly object of everyone's respect, everyone's prostration. You see, so it's win-win, win-win. what do you call, win-win situation, so like that. So anyway, then from the now the thing is here. So then from the lay practitioner or even among the Sangha, so you cannot harm each other, cannot harm each other, especially here when you hold the Buddhist vow, then your actions of body, speech, and mind, making sure never to discourage other Sangha, and never to harm, through your bad mouth and impure perceptions, or then physical gesture, no way. Then also you cannot be the cause of someone, monks or nuns, giving up their monastic life because of, an example, you have the Buddhist vow and you are abbot, or you are discipliner, or you are the managing team, or you are the senior monk there. Or you can be junior monk also, but because of your misbehavior, because of you bring so much stress, so much inconvenience to either to the community or either to individual other monks and nuns, and they, because of that stress, they give up monastery. You commit this precept. You transgress this precept. Then more than that, you create unbelievable heavy karma. Generally, you become a cause of someone losing vow. Is very much like you really like, cut the thread of their individual liberation. Cut the thread, like that. It's a heavy karma. You see. Then and some more, you become a direct cause to the Sangha to lose their vows. Some, they may give up monastery, but they may still, remain as a Sangha, maybe doing retreats and practice, whatever. But some, they may disrupt. They may disrupt. In particularly committing, the four root downfalls, and especially the sexual relationship, the killing, stealing, lying, that may commit in relation to your own very much your own individual mind, your own individual decision. But the sexual relationship, there's also danger of, the other parties' behavior too, So, like oneself encouraging, the monks and nuns to, get into relationship, sexual relationship. So therefore, expressing love, care to the monks and nuns has to be very careful. Make sure that they do not misunderstand. So even this culture of like hugging, and hello, and the Western way, kissing here, kissing there, so this also has to be very careful. So for Sangha, best never do that, shouldn't do that, And Sangha, they no need hug, they already renounce hugging, so you don't have to worry about, they need hug, so it's okay, so they are used to it, so no problem. They are not missing the hugging, so it's okay. So especially the so there are two types. The Sangha, some never exposed in this modern world, like kissing, hugging, and even like handshaking. It's almost alien to them. Since little they stay in monastery or they are in Himalayas. I mean, it is the culturally is very very distant. And when they happen to meet, today's people and suddenly they get hugged, they think that you're expressing love, to them, and then the electric shock happened. You see? So therefore, then they start to delusionalize. It happens like that. Then even when we talk to them, we be too frank to them, and sometimes they misunderstand. Since you're so frank to me, and I also carry delusion. I can be so frank to you. So from there, then again lose the boundary. You see. So like that. So then even those who are exposed in the world, like even like Western sanghas, many of the Western sanghas, they already went through this normal relationship. Hardly they, maybe they may be, but mostly they become sangha a bit later part of their life. They already went through the normal life experiences. But that doesn't mean the delusion is over. You see, they are not like those little Himalayan monk. They never exposed. So both still carry the same danger, because as long as you didn't give up the delusion, and then this human, this basic aggregates, then so easy to trigger to delusionalize. That's where the danger may come. You see. So therefore, the best way to relate to the Sangha, of course, from our heart, see them as Buddha's manifestations. Sangha, wearing exact Buddha's robes, you see. So it doesn't matter how young they are, how old they are, and what kind of behavior from their side they behave, from your side, you think like that. That the reason is there are different types of Sangha. Some Sangha really are already enlightened, and just to inspire, sentient being, they intentionally take human rebirth, then they take the Sangha life. So they are actual Buddha, you see, actual arahats, like that. So there's a emphasis is that if there's a 4 Sangha there, definitely one has to be arahat, even how ordinary they may be, They may be from New Mexico, 4 Sangha, one has to be arahat. So you don't know which one, They all look quite the same, but one could be arahat. So you have to be careful, So the respect is like offer them as seeing as arahat. So anyway, so then there are some Sangha that who is not arahat, who is not Buddha yet, but so much merit accumulated from the past, and they just got all the environment, where they can become Sangha. They can live a life as a monk and nun, So these 2 categories of monks and nuns, whatever way you relate to them, no danger at all. No danger to get harm to yourself, and no danger to cause harm to them. They are already perfected, no problem. Then there's another type of Sangha that who very much forced by culture or forced by family. Even in my village, there's a tradition of, if you have 3 boys, then the central boy must become monk. Then in that culture, the best children has to become Sangha. The best one, the smartest one, the most handsome one, and the most loving boy and girl of the family is to be monk or nun. So that culture like that. So even though you don't want to become monk or nun, then you have to become monk. You have to become monk and nun. It happened to my family. My younger brother, which is the middle one, he was asked to become monk and nun, because he was the most adorable for my parent, especially for my father, It's like he's blocked like that, It's the most cherishing, So, but then he don't want to become monk. And I want to become monk, but he said, no, you are the worst one, so you cannot become monk. You are the worst one, You are useless, so you cannot become monk, like that. So anyway, it's a long story. We cannot get distracted there. The time is also finishing. So therefore, you see. So yes. So anyway, yeah. So through culture, through then you have no choice, but then you have to become monk, And for them, yes, some they really change, throughout their journey, and they really transform. They really understood the meaning of Sangha life, and they become great practitioner, great Sangha, like that. But some is very much, even though they are wearing robe, they have the vow, they stay in monastery, but they are just waiting for the chance, waiting for the chance, just someone give you a hint. That could be kissing, that could be hugging, that could be even just handshake. That could be just simply being frank with you. That's it. Especially you get a visa to America, no problem. So it's so easy like that. It also happened. Now, then the last one, there are also monks and nuns that, no one can handle them. They are the naughtiest in the whole world, sent to stay at home. They are the laziest, no working, mess up everything. Then sent to school, they are the worst, they cannot study, And then the parents start to think that, okay, better send to monastery, because monastery got the strictest discipline. If you send there, then hopefully, my child will be better off. So they are kind of forced to send to monastery. You see, so now my point is this two category, the latter two category, we have to be extremely careful relating to them. You see, but we don't know when you first go to monastery, approach nuns and monks. It could be little one, could be grown up, 80 years old, doesn't matter. Don't know in which category. So for everyone, the best, you relate to them physically, always like this. Namaste, Prashidale, hello. So like this. Then, since you're talking to monks and nuns, so, that's a very serious matter, isn't it? So you be a bit serious. You say, yes. So what is your practice? I'm just joking, So it's really showing that, I value you so much. You have vow, you're wearing the robes, it's like, wow, that's alone, okay, you see. So also like that. Then verbally, always kind of calling them venerable, even though it's just 7 years old little boy and a little nun and monk, but it's so wonderful to call venerable. Then sometimes these little monks and nuns, they're so cute, then sometimes we just kind of like grab them and, they become like a toy, and then the imprint in them, can live very strong, that, even they're grown up, when they become teenage, they think that, yeah, I'm still adorable for everybody, so then they become a bit wild like that, you see. Then again, some are, 80, 90 years old, we think that they're already too old. No, delusion is an equal strength, whether you're a little boy or 80, 90 years old, same. They manifest in different way, but it's a delusion, it's the same. You see, so therefore, we also cannot underestimate, oh, you're already 80 years old monk, so therefore I can be so frank with you, or 80 years old nun, I can be so frank with you, not like that, So, so anyway, my point here is, yes, so there's we just have to avoid of being even the slightest conditions of defecting their vows. So that's the point. That's the point. Then again, this is not making life very difficult to communicate with monks and nuns. This is actually giving so much opportunity to really accumulate ourselves so much merit that in future I can become Sangha. Because when you understand the meaning, the benefit of holding the vow is immeasurable. Benefit is unbelievable. One of the most favorable life if you become Sangha and hold all the vows to practice Dharma. It's unbelievable. Benefits, numberless benefits out there. You see, so for that purpose, so relating to Sangha like that, I think it's so that way then we can protect. We no need to worry about this vow. It will be intact. Okay, so now yes, I need to stop soon. Committing the 5 heinous crimes. Okay, that's easy. So commit the 5. Yeah, committing the holding wrong views such as committing any of the 5 heinous crimes to kill your mother, your father, or arahat, or cause disunity among the Sangha and to wound the Buddha. So yes, easy. So there's one that has to be careful. There's a danger for us, which is causing disharmony among the Sangha. So generally when we talk about Sangha community, it consists of 4 fully ordained Sangha. But practically, it can be just 2 person, 2 Sangha, 2 monk or nun. From the Vinaya strictly, is talking about 4 fully ordained Sangha. Otherwise, just 2 Sangha. What's it? Causing disharmony through your actions among them, or the community of these 2 Sangha, creating disharmony, etc. So sometimes, when we speak about different, Dharma centers, monastery, nunnery, we have to be careful, like that. So again, the Sangha here, not just talking about monk and nun. When we talk about the definite Sangha, anyone who actualizes realization on emptiness, then they are Sangha. So therefore, it can be a lay, woman, man, young children, could be anybody, even though this, from their past lifetime, already they actualize direct realization on emptiness, and they're living like a normal person, and it belongs to that particular center, this center, then you happen to be the cause of disharmony among these, 2 people or 2 community, then that will create the karma like that. Now, the number 9, holding distorted view. This is another very, very tough one. So cultivating and holding wrong views such as secularism, denying the existence of the 3 jewels, or denying the existence of law of cause and karma. So this particular one, then no need any of the 4 conditions. Just by having that wrong view, you will lose the vow from the root. So once you already taken the Buddhist vow, then it's understood that you have a strong understanding and faith in karmic law, cause and effect. That is very much one of the foundation of Buddha's teaching. Interdependent arising. Start with understanding and believing in karmic law, cause and effect. Then triple gem. Existence of triple gem, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, that's the root where we, foundation or the root where we start building our spiritual development. If you, after obtaining Buddha vow and you tend to disregard that, it's a very heavy, you see. Then holding the wrong view, denying the existence of, the emptiness, etc. Okay, so I better stop here. So thank you, and we will continue from next session without any distraction. I will just read out. Any question, or we can stop here?
Can I ask a question, please, Kisela? Yeah, thank you. You know, sometimes when I listen to the teaching, sometimes I turn the video off because I want to eat something. Is that bad, Kisela? No.
Okay.
Thank
it's
you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
I think most of the teaching time, have a lot of eating and a lot of drinking, especially in the Tibetan culture, must have, yeah. So unless you are in precept, otherwise no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you very much. So I will recite some dedication prayers and please do dedication accordingly, okay? Yawade Nudoda Lama Sanja Dubian Doa Chijamaleba de Sala Gobara Sho Chanjo Simjoran Bochemaji Panam Jawanya Bama by Gone Kondo Pavacha Tony Tower and Bochemaji Panam Jawanya Bama by Gone Kondo Remienda and Bojamaji Panam Jawanya Bama by Gone Kondo Pavara Sho Carrera Vekovation and on the woman Chereso. Shabe said about the danger to Janguja, the Yobe Kondo chosen Govel method. Daso deje gondo shabe sho jambe bawo jeda jamba do kondo sambo de ande ji da ko ni chu da lo jawa de tum jero do so chebe jawa tum chu ngo ga no chu ngo da je jewe zawa de gonja sambo je je ram do ngo wa ra je phama sim je tum de na de je me ro tum do do ngo je jo sambo ka no so jo ya da gonja ma la do je sim je ne ba je ba je ne ta jo chu ben ne ma ne ba ta do chu me ba ra sho be dan zo wa mi ko be shi no ba sam je sim je ro ba gonja de sambo chu jin chu be ta shi. Thank you very much. Please take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.